Dear finance professionals and students, welcome to podcast of FCA Deepak Rao, a practicing chartered accountant. Daily news and updates for 24th April 2025. JSW Paints and a consortium of Advent International and Indigo Paints are vying to acquire Akzo Nobel India, the owner of Dulux Paints, as Akzo Nobel NV seeks to exit the Indian market amidst intense competition. Pidilite Industries is also interested primarily in Akzo's decorative business. The Institute of Chartered Accountants of India will investigate Gensol Engineering and BluSmart Mobility's financial year 24 financial statements and audit reports due to fraud allegations. This action follows a Securities and Exchange Board of India probe that revealed fund diversions and governance issues, promoting concerns about auditor accountability and financial reporting practices. The scramble for marquee audit mandates has begun as India Inc. enters the final stretch of the 10-year mandatory rotation cycle introduced under the Companies Act in 2017-18, with several companies beginning discussions to onboard new auditors for the next decade. Between 2018 and 2023, audit fees for FTSE 250 companies rose by 75%, reflecting rising costs and complexity. In contrast, India's NSE 500 saw only a 25% increase during the same period, despite operating in a high inflation, high growth environment. Also, this time around, companies are triggering a far more structured and competitive process than a decade back. Personal relationships no longer drive decisions. Formal RFPs are fast becoming the norm. The Reserve Bank of India has revised guidelines under the Basel III liquidity coverage ratio framework, increasing runoff rates for retail deposits enabled with internet and mobile banking facilities, updating the treatment for deposits from non-financial small business customers, and aligning the valuation of government securities with haircuts applicable under the Liquidity Adjustment Facility and Marginal Standing Facility. The amendments will be effective from 1st April 2026. The RBI has issued final guidelines revising the liquidity coverage ratio framework, adjusting haircuts on the market value of government securities, and introducing additional runoff rates of 2.5% to internet and mobile banking enabled retail and small business customer deposits. In addition, the final guidelines also rationalize the composition of wholesale funding from other legal entities. The revised instructions shall become applicable with effect from 1st April 2026. The Reserve Bank of India has revised its guidelines on opening an operation in the deposit accounts of minors. Now, minors of any age may be allowed to open and operate savings and term deposit accounts through his or her natural or legal guardian. Further, minors aged 10 years and above may independently open and operate savings or term deposit accounts subject to limits and terms set by banks based on their risk management policies, which must be duly communicated to the account holder. This podcast is sponsored by Sound of CA. We share because we care. Vande Mataram, Jai Hind.